February 14th, 1884, Valentine's Day. A young man sits at his desk in New York City. He opens his diary. He does not write a poem. He does not write a plan. He draws a massive black X across the page, and beneath it, he writes only one sentence. "The light has gone out of my life." In the span of 24 hours, Theodore Roosevelt lost his mother to typhoid fever and his wife to childbirth. He was 25 years old. His world didn't just break, it incinerated. The grief was so physical, so violent, that those around him thought he would surely die from the shock. His friends told him to rest. They told him to take time. They told him to run for office to distract himself. But Roosevelt knew something that biology is only just now confirming. You cannot heal a broken mind in the same environment that broke it. He didn't need comfort, he needed to disappear. He left his political career, he left his home, he boarded a train west to the Dakota Territory, the Badlands, a place aptly named. It was a hellscape of frozen mud, brutal winds, and outlaws. It was the place people went when they wanted to be forgotten. You must understand who he was. He was not born strong. He was a sickly, asthmatic child who was told he would die young. He was a New York dandy with glasses and a high-pitched voice. The cowboys in the Badlands laughed at him. They called him Four Eyes. They expected the winter to kill him, and it almost did. The winter of 1886 was legendary. It was so cold that cattle froze to death while standing up. The wind howled like a banshee for months. There was no comfort, there was no escape, there was only the cold and the work. This is where he discovered the strenuous life. Roosevelt realized that when he sat still, the grief would eat him alive. But when he pushed his body to the point of collapse, the grief vanished. He didn't process his trauma, he outran it. He rode for 15 hours a day. He hunted for days without sleep. He wrote, "Black care rarely sits behind a rider whose pace is fast enough." He hunted grizzlies, not for sport, but for the proximity to death. He found that standing in front of a charging bear made his own internal pain seem small. He was replacing the fire of grief with the fire of adrenaline. The turning point came in a saloon in Mingusville. A drunk gunslinger pointed 2 pistols at Roosevelt and ordered him to buy drinks. The old Roosevelt would have used diplomacy. The Badlands Roosevelt stood up, struck the man 3 times, and knocked him unconscious before the guns could even fire. The dandy was dead. 2 years later, he returned to New York. His friends didn't recognize him. His neck was thicker. His voice was deeper. The asthma was gone. The grief was calcified into armor. He had entered the winter as a broken boy, and he emerged as the bull moose who would become the 26th President of the United States. This toughness wasn't an act. Years later, when he was shot in the chest during a speech, he didn't go to the hospital. He coughed into his hand, saw no blood, realized the bullet hadn't hit his lung, and spoke for another 90 minutes with a bullet in his chest. That level of anti-fragility was not born in a classroom. It was forged in the Badlands. So, here you are, standing at the edge of 2026. You are tired, you are burnt out, you feel the weight of a year that didn't go according to plan. You want a resolution, but Roosevelt teaches us that a resolution is not enough. You need a protocol. Rule number 1, the geographic delete. You cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. Before this year ends, you must go to your own Badlands. Take a trip, rent a cabin, or simply lock yourself in a room you never use. Remove the cues of your old habits. Disappear physically so you can reappear mentally. Rule number 2, somatic overload. We live in our heads. We think our way into anxiety. Roosevelt solved his problems with his body. When the dark thoughts come, do not argue with them, outrun them. Lift something heavy until your hands shake. Freeze yourself in cold water. Force the pain out of your mind and into your muscles. Action is the only cure for anxiety. Rule number 3, the identity funeral. The New York dandy had to die so the president could be born. You are holding on to a version of yourself that is not capable of achieving your goals for 2026. Stop trying to improve him. Kill him. Bury your old identity in the snows of 2025. The light has not gone out of your life. It is just waiting for you to strike the match. Do not go gently into the new year. Go to the Badlands and come back unbreakable. Welcome to the Timeless Blueprint.